This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas. Magazine publisher and entrepreneur Judith Mancini is sharing captivating conversations with experts in their field about the latest trends in our ever-changing world to help you become healthy, wealthy, and wise. Judith Mancini today will spark your interest and inspire you to lead your best life ever. And now, here's Judith.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to start out with expressing my feelings. My feelings are a lot of anger and a lot of trepidation and a lot of what the heck is going on. You know, I'm a pretty strong woman, but even I am getting a little upset these days. First of all, we can't just keep printing money. Every time I turn around, I hear on the news that another billion or another $44 billion are being spent on things that are never completed. First, it was California with our Democratic governor, who now has built these high rises in downtown Los Angeles for the homeless. I've heard two different versions of this. One that it's for veterans and one that it's just homeless from off the street. I don't know which is correct. I'm going to have to investigate this. But it costs millions of dollars. And if it was to be sold per unit, it would be over $600,000 to buy a unit. So they can't convert it into something people would live in, because what it is a little room with a sitting space with a table for two, a bed that looks like a regular old-fashioned double bed, and picture windows so you can see downtown Los Angeles and all, and a small kitchen, and of course a bathroom. Who, if they convert this back, would pay that much money for something like this? And to me, I just don't understand it. They have a recreation room with a balcony that's outside. It's covered up, so you're in the shade. You can go to the glass enclosed exterior of it. But the glass only goes up so high, and it's at the legal limit. Now, if you took a chair over there, you could actually jump over from the very high top floor where this recreation room is. My concern is there are a lot of veterans that have PTSD that might want to end it all. This is one of our problems with our veterans that we're trying to solve. I don't think this solves it. And I just am so upset that the taxpayers have paid for this without a little more thought being put into it. And the printing of money, as California is already so far in debt to the billions of dollars, when it used to have an excess of money. I'm not opposed to housing people who are homeless and are veterans. That's not the point. The point is it's not being done correctly. Now, I don't think we should just take millions of people from below the border that are not vetted, that could be terrorists and very likely are, and be putting them in these houses and these high rises and all to help them out when we don't know who they are. Now, President Biden is letting anybody who is married to somebody in the United States. They could become immediate citizens. Well, this was put into effect a long time ago. But it seems that there are more people married now than ever before, and it's all very phony. Something has got to be done. We might not make it to the next 4 or 5 months to the election time. I am worried about the crime in this country. Look what has happened to these innocent people over the weekend and just before the end of the week. The mother that was killed, the mother of 5 children by an illegal immigrant. And then there was the 13-year-old little girl who was raped, unfortunately not murdered. She was very good at describing this person, which is remarkable, an illegal alien. And it goes on and on and on. Another shootout with the police, illegal aliens, people driving drunk, illegal aliens, going into the DMV to get ID cards, the Department of Motor Vehicles, driver's licenses, and our president is giving them the right to vote with these driver's licenses. They are not citizens. They're not even applying to be citizens. They're just here. And none of this paperwork is being followed through. This is a grotesque thing that is happening to our country. What about the billions of dollars that have been supposedly, it's in the bank earning interest? No, for EV charging stations. 8 have been built. 8. That's ridiculous. And what about the internet? They were promised in the parts of the country that doesn't have a high-speed internet that they would all get internet. Now they're debating this, but the money is there for them, so President Biden says. They haven't done one thing. They have people bidding on the job, people who don't know anything about technology. Why don't they just go to Elon Musk and say, hey, you help Ukraine. How about you help us? What would we do without Elon Musk? I swear to God, this is such a mess. Okay, I also want to talk about these climate protesters that seem to think the climate is destroying us. But what they are doing is actually destroying history and beauty and anything that has to do with culture that they think will impact us. If they think that we are going to go out and do something for them, they're nuts. They need to be arrested and put away in jail for defacing things. That includes the monuments in our country that portray our history. How about instead of tearing everything down, we build more monuments to the Native Americans, more monuments to the people who fought for civil rights? I think that would be a better idea than destroying everything. Look what they've done in the Louvre, pouring tomato soup and all sorts of things all over these beautiful paintings. And what about going into the Stonehenge area and with all those monuments that we're not even sure what they came from or how they got here or how they portray spirituality? I went there about 6 years ago to see them, and it's quite impressive. And so these crazy idiots got the spray paint out and spray painted those this week. They should all be put in jail. Now, I want to warn you, the tropical storms are starting up, and this is supposed to be one of the worst hurricane seasons of all. So please, the heat is terrible on the East Coast. In Pittsburgh, I saw it was dangerously high. You know, I always keep a look on Pittsburgh because my friends are there, and I always keep I'll look on the Boston area because I have friends there also. So you should be prepared. Water in your house, and I don't mean the flood kind. Get yourself enough gallons of water to take care of your family. If you're told to evacuate, evacuate. And for goodness sakes, with all of this horrible heat, including out here in California, the highest temperatures have already been up to 112 here in Palm Springs, which in the month of June is very early for intense heat. So everybody be careful. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. And if you can, stay in the air conditioning. This crime problem is busy. It is busy, and the police are having a hard time keeping up with it. What I want to say is, don't you think it's a little strange that a Secret Service guy was attacked and his gun was taken away from him when Biden was in LA for his fundraiser with the celebrities? And who cares about the celebrities? They should stick to making their movies. If you ask them anything about how the government is run, I bet very few of them could tell you. I personally like the work that they have done in their movies, and they're entitled to their opinions, but I don't think they're entitled to become what they think they are, experts in how to run our country. Most of them have homes outside of the country, by the way, and they all say they want to leave if Trump gets elected. Well, they already have the homes. Why don't they leave? Because America is the greatest land on earth. Let's not let them destroy it. One more thing, or two more things. They want to, in Louisiana, put the 10 Commandments in every school or every classroom. I'm not sure which they're trying to do. And there is a lot of controversy over this about separation of state and the rest of the country, the people, separation of state and church. So Moses put the 10 Commandments together. That's the church part. The state is the school system in Louisiana, which we're speaking. So there's two arguments. One, that if you put the 10 Commandments in there, then you need to put everything else for the other religions in the world. But this is not a religious study. There are many things in the United States that are based on the 10 Commandments. And although Moses brought them down from the mount, it might be a good idea to just take a look at them. I'm sure you can find them on the internet. You could find them in the Bible. You could find them just about anywhere. They teach morality. That's what they teach. And I think that we need more morality in this country. So I hope Louisiana looks at all sides of this argument. I first thought, well, no, I don't think we should put them in the school system. They should be available to read. They could be taught, and they could be put in a book that is passed out to everybody to read and then handed back in. There's many different ways to do it. And I think separation of state and church is a good idea, but maybe we should listen to Moses and the 10 Commandments, and maybe we would have a better world. The other thing I want to talk about is the draft. There is a proposal in Congress to, of course, number one, up the draft for what they call boys. I call them men, and they should be calling them men because at 18 you are a man. You should act like one. Up to, I don't even know what the end date of the draft is, the end age of the draft. But there's talk of having girls or women, and I call them women because at 18, they are women. Remember, at 18, you can vote these days. At 18, you're certainly able to conceive a family. There are countries like Israel where it is a law that women also enter for 2 years of service. Now, I think in the United States, our military has dwindled in size so much since we went to an all volunteer military. I think we need to reinstitute the draft. Don't say I have no children anymore. I do have children. I have grandchildren. I have 3 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. My one grandson is going to be 19 in August. My granddaughter is going to be 17 in August. And I have 2 little boys that are 5 and 10 that are going to be 1 year older this summer. So it does affect me. But my father, my grandfather, my uncle, and my brother served in the armed forces, and those were during wars. We are on the verge of a war. One of the most devastating things coming up could be the war. Israel and Hezbollah are not getting along at all, shall we say. Listen to the news, and you too will become frightened. One more thing before I get into your pretty smiles is that I lost my train of thought. Well, we'll come back to that. I'm sorry. I messed my notes up here. Let's talk about your teeth. You know, there is this wonderful song is smile though your heart is aching, smile though your heart is breaking. Nat King Cole made that very popular. He didn't write it, but he made it very, very popular. And if you are in a bad place in your life, you know, if you put a smile on your face and make it a happy face, people will be more interested in talking to you. You'll feel better in your heart. Your children will feel better. Your spouse will feel better. I don't mean laugh at them. I mean smile. And it will make you a better day. But what happens if you're afraid to even open your mouth because your teeth look bad? Now, most of the people I'm talking to have been to the dentist and take care of their teeth, but I'm talking about some people who don't. And they should be going to the dentist, and you would be shocked how often they don't go to the dentist. Do you know what all that not going to the dentist and taking care of your oral health can do to you? Well, there are a lot of things that can happen to you if you don't take care of your teeth. And one of them, you know, there's different diseases that can be linked to poor, sorry about the noise with the papers, that can be linked to oral health. First of all, we all know people that you can't stand next to because you want to go like this. Bad breath. That's a sign of tooth decay or something else going on in your mouth. But we're talking about now today some really devastating illnesses that can be attributed, at least in part, to oral health. And bad oral health can affect your heart. It can affect the inner chambers of your heart and your valves in your heart. You know, blood goes everywhere in your body, and so does bacteria. You're swallowing your saliva, it goes down through your esophagus all the way down to your stomach and comes out the other end. But that saliva is also good for you. So it's a kind of complicated thing, this oral health, that has so much to do with your bodily health and your mental health. Cardiovascular disease, pregnancy and birth complications, pneumonia, diabetes. Now, this is one I didn't even think about, but I suppose I should because of the sex involved, HIV and AIDS, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. What do you think we should do about it? I'm sure most of you brush your teeth daily and several times a day. I'm crazy about my teeth. I don't know. I don't know what you think about them. I think they're pretty good, and I don't whiten them at the dentist or anything. And I had such a shock this past week from my daughter. She said, "You know, we're going to Mexico on a trip, and I want to make sure you're okay." I said, "What are you talking about? I'm perfectly fine." And she says, "Well, you know, you are in your late 70s." I said, "What? What? I don't feel like I'm in my late 70s. 77 doesn't feel like that to me. I'm feeling good. I'm healthy. And one of the reasons I'm healthy, I think, is because I've always taken good care of my teeth." Now, taking care of your teeth involves brushing them every day, not weekly, not monthly. You must do that. And if you're afraid to do that, you're not going to hurt your teeth. Just don't get one of those toothbrushes that's going to hit your gums and tear your gums up. But keep them in control. You know, you can get those rubber tip things and push on your gums so you don't get gingivitis and things like that. One of the things that helps your teeth is having the good care in it and having your saliva good. Now, what causes cavities and things in your mouth is not bacteria, meaning it's not bad bacteria in your mouth necessarily. It's the lack of good bacteria in your mouth. So if you are doing things that are drying up the saliva in your mouth, try to do something with probiotics and things like that that will help you with your saliva. Chewing gum is something that's very good. Be sure you chew the sugarless gum because that will keep your saliva going. If you've got something and you're out during the day and you just had a business lunch or a ladies' luncheon or your guy pals, and you got something stuck in your tooth, you can't be sticking your finger in there and trying to get it out. So chew some sugarless gum, and that will help bring that out as well as increasing your saliva. And when you're brushing your teeth, I found out something that, you know, I'm crazy. I brush my teeth when I get up in the morning before I go have breakfast, and then I usually brush it afterwards also. A lot of people do that. I don't know. I just love my teeth. So what you want to do is also, besides the brushing, is be sure you floss. Now, you could get a water pick and shoot that up there in your gums, but I have had so many people tell me that their water picks just do nothing but make their gums bleed. So I don't know. I would consult your dentist about that one. So you want to make sure that that stuck in piece of hard candy you ate or something doesn't stay in there because that will cause a cavity. What we want to do is protect your oral health to make your smile beautiful all the time. Talk about braces. A lot of children have crooked teeth when they're born. They don't have them when they're born. As they grow up, their teeth are crooked. It might be because their teeth are a little too big for their jaw and they need to make space for them to come in, particularly when they start getting their molars back here and all. So usually you can see with the baby teeth, there is pretty much enough room for those baby teeth to come in, and then they start losing them. That's a normal thing. A lot of mammals lose their teeth and get another set of teeth as they grow older. So we humans do that. And oftentimes when they're about 7 or 8, you can see that these adult teeth are coming in, and they will continue growing as they grow into the end of childhood and enter the teen years and all of that. So what you want to do is make sure you get those teeth straightened. And if they need to make space for the molars or something like that, you need to make space. Now, I know a lot of people say they can't afford to get braces, but you know what? There are places you can go to get help with orthodontics. That's what braces are called, the orthodontic treatment in the mouth to straighten out your teeth. And I'm sure there's other things. A lot of insurance these days cover orthodonture. So see what you have, but make sure you get that straightened out, because you know what happens if you grow up with really crooked teeth. It can cause many problems. First of all, the food can get stuck in them easier. You won't feel as attractive, and probably you won't look as attractive. But also with these crooked teeth, you'll feel like grinding them at night. And grinding your teeth is really terrible. Not only does it keep you awake, it keeps your partner awake. Sometimes you do it when you're asleep and you don't even know you're doing it, but it's usually because they're out of alignment. And mentally in your head, it's telling your teeth to move around and see if you can move them. And you don't want to move them. You want to see a specialist, a dentist. More about that in a little while. So that's another reason you want to see about orthodonture. So you want to make sure that when you're brushing your teeth, you brush for 2 minutes. A lot of this is just rudimentary stuff, so I'm going to kind of go fast. You want to floss. You want to, of course, eat a healthy diet and limit your sugar. Well, of course, you want to eliminate some of the sugar in your life, because so many of us tend to drink sugary drinks. And believe me, drinking a diet soda is not good for you. There's too many junky things in it. So you don't want to drink a Coke a day or even a Diet Coke a day. That sugar will eventually get to your teeth, because you don't go in and rinse your mouth out or brush your teeth every time you have Coca-Cola. So try to watch what you're eating and try to replace your toothbrush every 3 or 4 months. Now, I use a toothbrush, a regular toothbrush, and I use an electric toothbrush. I brush my gums where the gum line is, and I use the electric toothbrush to do that also. I just kind of feel that the electric toothbrush sort of helps with polishing the teeth. But I'm going to get to these abrasive things that people are using these days as well that are not very good for you. So you should replace that toothbrush, even the one in the electric toothbrush, and they usually come with extras, or you can buy extras, every 3 to 4 months. I would say sooner, because people just rinse out their toothbrush under the tap and then they stick it up to dry. I don't think you're getting the germs out of it. And you do have some germs, which can, or bacteria, I should say, that can come off your tongue, between your teeth, wherever in your mouth. Some of the bad bacteria, as well as some of the good bacteria. So you put that toothbrush in a toothbrush holder or just on the countertop. And I just kind of feel like, yes, you're airing it out, but you're also allowing, like the heat in the wintertime from the heater, or the summertime from just being hot. It sort of promotes bacteria growing on the toothbrush. And it just gives me the shivers. So see a dentist at least once a month. Now we're talking about people who don't have any apparent problems with their teeth. Go get checked. I haven't had x-rays on my teeth, I can't even remember, for maybe 15, 20 years, because I don't have problems. I already filled my teeth. Okay. When back, for people our age, back in the day, we didn't really realize what was going to cause cavities, and maybe we brushed once a day before we went to bed or something like that. Who knows what people did, what their parents told them to do. I had an aunt who was a dental hygienist in my family. She went around to every single one of us in the family and said, "Are you brushing your teeth? This is how you do it." So we always did that. And then one thing that you really shouldn't do if you're having gum problems and all, and even teeth problems, is smoke tobacco. It turns your teeth yellow. It hurts your gums. It causes periodontal disease, which is the disease of the gums. It's one of the worst things you can do, but there's certainly a lot of people who do it. So we're here to try to get you to stop doing those things. Did you know that straightening your teeth can help you have better digestion and therefore help your gut health? That's because you can chew right. That's right. A lot of people who have choking problems and all their teeth aren't matching exactly right. And so they're not chomping down on it. And maybe they're not chewing up the steak they're eating because it's too hard and lumpy, and oh, there down it goes. Mashed potatoes are great. They go right down fine. But that's where your braces will help you. Straighten out your teeth and get your jaw aligned. You know, I know most of you know these retainers that have the straps on them that are moving your teeth, but moving your jaw. So that's why you want to do this when you're young. I know now they have these wonderful trays you can get to straighten your teeth. They've come so far ahead from the metal braces and all that they had when we were growing up. So if you're a grandparent or a mom or a dad, get these kids straightened out. So you get better digestion. It's easier when you have straight teeth and a lot of room to brush them and chew correctly. It's a lot easier for you, and you won't be getting these pains in your neck and in your shoulders and your head where your teeth aren't right, so you're going all crazy ways. If you have your teeth straightened and your teeth are healthy, you may speak more clearly and enunciate better because you won't be having the tongue coming into the wrong place where you can't speak clearly. So consider all of these things. Also, if you're taking care of your teeth correctly and they're not hitting incorrectly, you're going to have fewer chipped teeth and teeth that are cracked. In other words, less wear and tear. To say nothing about your self-confidence. You know, there's this wonderful thing called porcelain veneers. This is another wonderful advancement in the dental area, in the oral health area. You can, if you have really bad teeth because of neglect, or you were just unfortunate and were born with them, there are wonderful dental people and all that can restore your teeth or help you with teeth, with implants and things like that. But you need to go to a specialist for that. You can't just go to a regular dentist who is into hygiene. Another thing you shouldn't go to a dentist, regular dentist for, you need an oral surgeon, is if you have an impacted tooth that needs to have a root canal. You need an oral surgeon. You see, there are people who specialize in different areas of oral hygiene, just as there are doctors who specialize in different practices, such as the heart surgeon, cardiologist, the doctor who deals with your nervous system within your body, neurologist, and can tell you all of this. So you have different people in the dental field who can help you with your teeth. You have the man who does the implants. You have the man who just takes care of your hygiene. You have the oral surgeon. You have the man who is the orthodontist. I don't mean just men, women are in the dental field too. But I'm using this as an overall term. You have to be so darn careful these days with DEI. I can't say the wrong thing. Somebody will send me an email and get mad at me. So you need all of those different people. Now, there's a new way to put braces in too, and that's on the inside of your teeth, so nobody can see them. That might be an actor, somebody like that. But I would think it would impact your speech as it's there, and it could get your tongue in the way of it. So that's why you need to go to a specialist and see what different things can help you with your oral health. Now, there are warning signs for you all before I sign off today. I want to give you some warning signs that your oral health may be in jeopardy. One, you can see it on television. You're brushing your teeth and they're saying there's something wrong with your teeth. You need this mouthwash, or you need this toothpaste. You need the sensitive toothpaste for your teeth. If they hurt, this will help. And that's if when you're spitting out your toothpaste or mouthwash and a little bit of blood comes out, that means your gums are bleeding. And they may not be bleeding profusely and dripping out your mouth like a nosebleed, and maybe some of you have seen nosebleeds. It doesn't come out like that unless there's something drastically wrong. So it could be just little bits of blood when you're rinsing your mouth out. So beware of that. If you have any kind of dental pain, whether it's cold or heat sensitivity, or if you bite down on something and, oh goodness, that hurt, those are signs that something is wrong with your teeth. Normally, with the heat and cold sensitivity, your tooth may have a cavity in it that goes down and has exposed some nerve endings. So you want to figure out what that pain is coming from in your teeth. Hard biting into something could cause much pain in your tooth and going down into your jaw. So you want to get to a dentist right away. If your dentist doesn't do what you want him to do, like orthodonture, he can recommend somebody. These guys all know each other. They have big conferences. They know people from dental school and all. So they can refer you to somebody. This is a story about a girlfriend of all of ours in this group that runs around with each other and supports charities together and has ladies' luncheons for our birthdays in the month of May, and et cetera, et cetera. This woman had such bad breath that we would often sit back like this. I'm telling you, it was terrible. It could knock you out. And sometimes medication does that to you. So you need to call your doctor right away if you think you have bad breath, because brushing your teeth and taking a mouthwash is not going to get rid of that bad breath. It could also be a sign that there is something else wrong with you if you have that horrible bad breath. If you think it's just coming from your mouth, you could be wrong. It could be coming from your stomach all the way up to your mouth. If you never brush your tongue, it could be from the buildup of everything in your mouth getting caught in the back of your tongue. So you want to brush your tongue. I know all of this sounds pretty simple, but this woman moved to the other side of the country, and I understand she still has this problem. So whether it's a medical problem or a medication problem, nobody knows. And it's sad that people don't want to be around her. So you don't want to be like that. You want to have good, sweet smelling breath. It could also be a tooth that's decaying or gums that are getting soft and squishy and cause be sure you go to a doctor too, because it could be something from your gastrointestinal system, and you want to make sure you're okay. Also, a dry mouth can cause a problem with your breath. And you often get a dry mouth if you're talking too much. Like a speaker may get dry mouth, and you'll see him take a sip of water because you keep talking and talking and talking, and pretty soon your tongue starts sticking to the top of your mouth. You want to be careful because that also can cause your problems. This is what your saliva does, and it should be good saliva, not smelly, crummy saliva. Saliva is made to rinse your mouth out and keep it moist so you can speak, and so your teeth are healthy, your tongue is healthy. If you're having a problem with that, you should see your doctor because it could be a medication that's drying out your mouth. And remember, hydrate, 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 and try that trick with the gum if you're a speaker and you need to go before you could increase your saliva by chewing a little bit of gum. And we talked about your teeth sensitivity, so we know that that is good. So those are the things that I wanted to talk to you about today. But in closing, I want to tell you that there has been a great advancement, in my opinion, in dental health, because now you can find holistic dentists. And you know, a holistic doctor is into integrative health and different things like that, and alternative health and herbs and natural things and natural remedies. And also you can find Ask a Dentist, Ask a Friend, look it up on the internet by you in your area, and they will approach your teeth in a different way. They're all about preventing. Well, regular dentists are into prevention also. But here's something: when I was looking at my research, I didn't know exactly how horrible toothpaste is for you. Now, one thing I've been doing with my teeth almost all my life is most of the time brushing my teeth with baking soda. I know that sounds weird, but a lot of people do that. Now, I wouldn't follow what people are doing, saying they whiten their teeth with apple cider vinegar. That's very acidic. It's going to harm the enamel on your teeth. And I wouldn't want to do it to my teeth. Don't go swishing that around in your mouth. I don't recommend it. Baking soda is good. You put a little bit in your hand or on a little plate, and you dip your wet toothbrush in it, and you just brush your teeth like normal toothpaste and spit it out. Rinse your mouth and spit it out down the sink. Don't swallow it, okay? Because some people take baking soda for indigestion, so you don't want that. It's okay for indigestion if you use the right amount, but don't be swallowing it after you're brushing your teeth. You don't know what you're swallowing with it, that food that was lodged in your tooth. Now, this holistic dentist that I was talking to the other day said toothpaste is the worst thing you can use to brush your teeth with. I started looking at toothpaste before I came here. Some of it has such weird stuff in it. It has all sorts of chemicals, but it also sometimes has this abrasive stuff, particularly these toothpaste that say they will whiten your teeth. Some of them even have sand in it. You don't want to tear the enamel off your teeth. Go to a professional who whitens your teeth. I'm not in favor of those, but if you have a problem or you're a smoker, you're going to have to do something because nobody likes to see very yellow teeth. But try the old baking soda trick. I think you'll be pleased with it. All right, people, my time is up. I have to run in and brush my teeth. No, I enjoyed talking about the teeth today, and We have gone over new things coming out to help the health of gentlemen. And today we were helping everybody with their teeth. And if you need to go get a crown put in, or you need to have implants, be sure you pick somebody that has references for you to talk to them about. There's lots and lots of very good dental people out there, oral health people. You don't want to be caught with what you think is a little sore in your mouth because you bit it, and it's a sore that's really precancerous, particularly people who smoke. So be sure you keep up your oral health just as you do your body health. Okay, thank you for listening in today. I appreciate you coming. Because we've spoken about men's health and now dental health, we're going to go down the list, and probably next week, I'm still debating this, we will be speaking of women's health, specifically sexual organs. So you may want to keep anybody under 18 off. And if you find it offensive, don't sign in with us on our station here. But as far as that goes, we won't be debating anything, but there's a big one coming up this Friday. I think you should tune in for President Biden and former President Trump. See who is the best man left standing. I seriously mean that, physically. But I will also leave you with this thought. There is a very big danger in our country and in the world right now between Israel and Hezbollah, who really could go into something that would be far worse than we have seen for a long time. There is some reason that Putin went to visit North Korea. And let's all pray that God will protect our country. I don't think, this is my opinion only, that President Biden will join this debate. I think they will use the excuse, and it may be very well founded, that he needs to be in a situation room because of the impending war. And we certainly hope a war does not break out. I was devastated to hear Netanyahu to say that we didn't send him the weapons he wanted that we had promised. Something's wrong with our government, and I think it needs to be straightened out. So try to listen into this debate. I would think it would be covered on different stations, as well as, I don't know who's putting it on. I do know that there are very liberal anti-Trump moderators, and that's their prerogative to be that. I wish there was somebody who was a little more centrist, but there's not. So you guys study it, listen to it, and if you want, send me by email any questions you have for me for next week, and we'll try to go over some of the things that happened in the debate or didn't happen in the debate, as well as talk about women's health. We have the time. Okay, everybody, enjoy your weekend. Don't forget to watch the debate this Friday. Next Friday, sorry. I have to look and see what date it is. It goes so fast for me. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a glorious day. Bye. Cherish yesterday, dream tomorrow, and live today.